the only reason I'm doing this, at the end of the day, when you start a business, it's to make money, it's to generate income, to give yourself that freedom. And I heard you mention this as well. The percentage chance of success is much higher in the franchise world as well. You know, because I think of myself as being an after-hours entrepreneur, building up that kind of that hustle on the side. Risk is a big part of that because I've got a family to feed. I got to put food on the table for my daughter, for my son, for my kids. I don't forget Yoda. I see you, boy. That's my little doggy. I see you, Yoda. So I know I got to keep you fed too. So removing the risk out of this equation seems like an important thing too, right? Yeah. What percentage of what's the contrast for me, Jon, the success rate of entrepreneurs versus franchise entrepreneurs?
Yeah, the data would show that, large data that after 5 years, 92% of franchises are still in business, whereas, probably a third or less of startups are. And so I think with franchising, and I look at different client case studies of mine, and some have been the franchising route all along. They'll buy a franchise, do very well. They got the manager in place. They move on to the next one. And, I think of my client, Nathan, in South Carolina, largest franchisee of 2 Men and a Truck, 40 years old, operates in about 10 markets, $30 million a year business. Well, he comes to me every year and says, hey, what's the next thing I'm going to get involved in? And we look at a few opportunities. He picks one, runs with it, puts a young guy in place, and, says, hey, go make us proud. And in every case, he's come back and bought additional, locations within the first year. I mean, he's done very well. I think of another client of mine. I'll use South Carolina as an example too. Another client of mine who's a business owner. He's built up several businesses in the state of South Carolina, and he came to me and said, "Hey, for this next season, I want to get involved in franchising." And you do see that. We talk about seasons. Most of the time, this isn't going to be your forever thing. You're going to build this, get it going, get it in a good place. Let's build another one. So we have a lot of repeat clients. But this client, he bought into a dumpster business. Didn't have any experience in it. He bought it in Columbia. Since then, he's expanded to Charleston. Just came back last week, bought up the Greenville Spartanburg market. He said, I can't keep these things in stock. This is a great system. Again, there's competition out there, but they figured out a way as a franchise system to go in and really gain market share by doing some things differently. Oftentimes, it's that white collar approach to blue collar industries that we see working so well.